Broadcasting live from Karn's Bastion on the plain of Ravnica, this is Tap Tap Concede. I'm Graham, and I'm joined this week by
Nelson.
Ben.
There's always the toss-up.
I thought I read his body language right.
I
saw
was
you
going
move your
to.
hips towards me.
You know what happened is I changed my mind at the last second. Wow. That's what
I thought you were going with Nelson too.
I just got left of the
I
altar.
faked you out, and I'm sorry.
Hi, I'm Ben.
How does it feel, Ben?
Nelson and Ben are also here. Today on the episode,
blue.
We're going to be talking about the state of Arena, sort of how we think Magic Arena is going, things that we like about it, things we might not like about it, things we want to see in the future. And before that, we're going to crack a pack. And before that, we're going to remind you that this show is brought to you by Card Kingdom, our good friends at Card Kingdom. Check out cardkingdom.com/LRR for all of your Card Kingdom needs, which is cards from a kingdom. They're great. Their customer service is great. Their shipping is super fast. They're awesome. And you can tell them Loading Ready Run sent me button, please, and they'll give you a little 1-inch button. They're currently, as of recording, they're out, but they're making more as we speak. And I don't know which one's next.
Proceed to cheat step.
Proceed to cheat step. Well, they just ran out of them.
Oh, did they?
That's the thing.
Okay.
They're currently out.
Oh, okay.
Well, they just need to go back into the cheat steps so they have more.
Turns out they had a lot of orders of War of the Spark, and they just completely ran out. But I believe when they do come back into stock, the next one will be Mowu Wants to Go Planeswalkies.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Which was Paul's suggestion, which I
Paul
loved.
That one. Yeah.
That's
Yay.
very good.
That comes from I saw a thing somebody had was saying that their headcanon was that Mowu is actually the planeswalker and just drags the other guy around.
Yeah,
with
Zheng Yu is just like Zheng Yu's being
He's
the
on the
one we're
leash.
taking for a walk.
That's really good. And of course, this show and everything we do is brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. Please do check that out. We super, super appreciate it. And as a reminder, a bunch of us are going to be at Magic Fest Seattle.
Coming up soon.
Coming up very soon. I'm going to be there. You're going to be there, Ben. Nelson, you're going to be there?
Not going to be there. Sorry.
You're not going to be there.
Not me.
I'm sorry. James will be there.
Adam, I
Serge
think?
will be there.
Adam
Adam will
Serge,
be there.
Cameron, I believe.
Cameron and
Beej, because we're getting a booth to do the commerce at a Magic Fest. It's our first time trying that out. We hope it goes well. Yeah, we're going to have, I don't think we're going to be able to reprint sleeves in time, but we're going to have dice bags, playmats, our Magic-related t-shirts. So yeah, we're excited to give that a shot. It works out well because our warehouse is in Seattle. So this is it's a low impact test of if we should do a thing at a Magic Fest. So come and check out that booth. And I know people have been making jokes about like Beej will alter your cards, and he will. If you give him a card and a Sharpie, he will F up that card.
yeah. Just recognize what you're asking.
Yeah, that's a warning, not a feature.
Yeah, if you give him your foil whatever and you want a sweet Beej altar, he'll cover the whole thing in just Sharpie, and that'll be his joke to you or something.
Yeah,
like that's
so
the kind of guy Beej is.
Watch out.
It'll be different.
Yeah.
Altered.
So let's begin with a Crack-a-Pack. Who wants to roll it?
Would you like to roll the dice?
Sure,
Paul?
I haven't
There you
rolled in a
go.
while.
Roll a die.
Go for it.
11.
1, 2,
That was
3,
straight
4,
off Price
5,
is Right.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, back to Ravnica.
11.
This is a pack of Dragon's Maze from the last time we were in Ravnica. This was given to us by Fenrickson at PAX Aus 2018.
Everyone's favorite set that was ever set in the plane of Ravnica. The undisputed favorite that has the most cards that everyone likes.
It was. I don't know how bad the set was outside. Like my
Limited was
opinion
great.
of the
Limited
set-
was actually great, I think.
Was it? I
thought it was
people
good.
didn't like it.
Yeah, lots of people didn't like it, but it was good.
All right. Well, fair enough.
We start off with a staple.
Yeah, it's a Dimir Cluestone.
Yeah.
So here's the problem. One of the problems with the set from a limited perspective is these Cluestones, which were not amazing. They're 3 mana rocks. This one is 3 mana taps for blue or black because it's the Dimir Cluestone. And for blue, black, and tap and sack it, draw a card. So the lockets are just better. They're twice the cost, but you draw twice the cards, but they're the same mana cost to play them.
Yeah.
Anyway, the problem was this was a small set back when small sets existed, and there were 10 Cluestones. So they just showed up
They were commons.
all the time because
Yeah.
they're commons. So you saw them constantly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, Tithe Drinker.
Ooh.
Love Tithe Drinker. White, black for a 2/1 with lifelink and Extort. Extort was the Orzhov ability from this set, or from this block. and it's whenever you cast a spell, you can pay an extra white or black. So whenever you cast any spell, you can pay an extra white or black. If you do, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain that much life. And so if you had multiple instances of Extort, you could pay it multiple times. I know this was busted in Two-Headed Giant because each opponent lost 1 life.
Oh.
So their team lost 2 and your team gained 2 because it was weird in Two-Headed Giant. Hazda Snare Squad is 2 and white for a 1/4. Whenever it attacks, you may pay white, and if you do, tap target creature and opponent controls. Surprisingly irritating in Limited, because it was hard to kill by itself.
Yeah, 1/4 has got it. That's a butt.
Yeah. Maze Behemoth.
Staple.
This was a cycle. A staple of what?
Just the big dumb green creature.
Oh, okay.
You know, sorry, not. I'm not saying Maze Behemoth. I'm using that word very liberal. I think I used it twice already.
3 or 4 different pauper decks.
Yeah.
Four of, right?
Maze Behemoth is just like I will always tip my hat to the big dumb green creature.
Yeah.
Colossal Dreadmaw will be one of my favorite cards till the end of time.
So it's 5 and a green for a 5/4 elemental with trample, and multicolored creatures you control have trample. So this was a cycle of Maze X creatures, 1 in each color, that they had an ability, and then they gave multicolored creatures that ability. The blue one was flying. It was better than this one.
Yeah, the red was Maze Runner. It had like haste.
Yeah. Not great. Mind Static. What if you staple a bunch of mana leaks together? 3 and a blue for an instant counter target spell unless its controller pays 6.
It's a 4-mana counterspell.
Yeah, that's all right.
I've never seen anyone pay 6.
No. Simic Cluestone, as we mentioned. There's the Cluestones.
Wake up. We're still in this pack.
Yep. Aw, for the guilds. 2 and a red for a sorcery. Monocolored creatures can't block this turn.
But look at that art.
What a gorgeous art.
That's why they can't block.
What a weird falter. I don't like it. You know what I do like though? Battering Krasis.
Yeah,
hit a
good
playable.
mechanic.
2 and a green for a 2/1 with Evolve. Evolve was the Simic mechanic from this set. And that says, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, if that creature has a greater power or toughness than this creature, then you put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So if you play a creature with 3 power or with 2 toughness, then this gets bigger. And then if you play a creature that is yet further bigger, then it gets bigger again. You could really chain evolves together. It was fun.
What do you like more, Evolve or Adapt? I know Graft is probably the bottom.
Adapt comes with
Graft
a
was
variable mana cost, and Evolve is just the one ability, right?
Yeah.
The weird thing about Evolve is it gets worse the bigger the creature it's on. But we like to cast big creatures too. But Adapt is it's hard to actually analyze Adapt as a comparison because Adapt 3 or Adapt 6.
Yeah,
right?
no,
Right?
definitely.
So
I think I'd like Evolve better.
I like it as a mechanic a
Yeah.
bit better.
Sure.
I like especially I just remember when I was first getting to Standard Evolution Experiment 1 was a really big part of the meta, and I loved that card. I still love that card.
I guess just the way the mechanic plays, it's like Evolve intrinsically asks a bit more of you from a deck building perspective, and I do like that. It's a bit more. Evolve is just a bit more of a riddle than Adapt. Adapt is just if you can cast this, you can adapt it.
Shamble Shark.
Yeah, Shamble Shark was a fun one.
You also
right?
had Shamble Shark, which is just it's
the
one of the
Flash
best
Evolve creature.
Yeah, it's just one of the greatest Magic names. I mean,
Sure.
the Simic has really, really good ones.
I feel like it's been replaced by Shark to Grab.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
an even better
Yeah.
goofy name for a fish beast, right? Yeah.
I still think the best creature name that's not Simic, because they also have Plaxcaster Frogling,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
is also very good. I think the best creature name that's not a Simic terrible hybrid is Gravegill Axe Shark
that's very.
You like that one?
from Lorwyn
yeah.
Block.
Yeah, Shadowmoor.
Gravegill Axe Shark.
I just love all of the old
It's
beast
like a
names.
Dimir. There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Gravelgill.
Even better than I
Even
thought.
better, yeah.
I remembered it as Gravelgill and thought I was getting it wrong. Yeah, Gravelgill Axe Shark. It's a 3/3 from Shadowmoor that casts for 4 and a Dimir, and it has Persist. It's not even that amazing, but Gravelgill Axe Shark.
I like that you it's axe shark, so that's like a hammerhead shark, it looks like an axe. No, it's a shark holding an axe.
Yeah, it's a dude, it's a humanoid shark thing.
yeah,
yeah,
it's a merfolk soldier.
Exactly.
Weird. Anyway,
But it's not like a merfolk that lives in a city. It's
like a swamp boy.
It's a swamp merfolk. Yeah, exactly.
That merfolk's down at the bayou.
This merfolk only knows members of its family.
Watch out, boy.
Yeah, this merfolk. We got a Trump voting merfolk right here.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back to the Dragon's Maze. Morgue Burst.
Ooh, I love Morgue Burst.
4 black-red for a sorcery. Return target creature from your graveyard to your hand. Morgue Burst deals damage to target creature or player equal to the power of the card returned this way. Why do you love Morgue Burst?
I just like it because I like
is it a
graveyard
staple and
recursion.
anything?
Yeah, it's a staple. You see, no. I've run this card in Commander with like big stuff, and
yeah.
it's pretty sweet to grab, like a a Woodfall Primus or something like that out of your Jund deck and then bring once again and it's just like it's obviously there are better cards that do it, but I really like cards that have a similar. I think it's like Grave Upheaval that also has like a similar.
This thing doesn't
kind of
exile
thing.
itself too. So if
Yes.
there's like a creature from Zendikar that's like pretty expensive and returns a card from your graveyard to your hand, so it's like lots of mana, but you've got the engine.
Yeah,
going,
and
right?
especially in limited, just anything that like I like cards that grab stuff out of your bin, Macabre Waltz,
Living in
any
the
of these
graveyard.
kind of things. Yeah,
I like the
And
flavor.
this has like this is a removal spell stapled on. So
Yeah.
I believe that's literally Rakdos on the card, and I like that the flavor text is let him in. He's on the list. Next up, another part of that cycle. This is the Maze Sentinel. It's 5 and a white for a 3/6 with vigilance, and multicolored creatures you control have vigilance.
This was the best one, I think. Like, was the black one Death Touch? Maybe the Death Touch one might have been okay.
Might have been. I
This
recall
was
this
just
one
like
actually being very good.
3/6.
Yeah.
Those are okay stats, right? 3/6
Yeah.
vigilance. Often it gets to attack, even if it's just like. Yeah,
Abomination.
this one was
Maze
also okay.
Abomination.
Just like 6 mana, 4/5 Death Touch is also.
Wait,
kinda
wasn't
decent.
there
The blue one was maybe the
Wasn't-
best.
wasn't
maybe
there
the blue
an
one's better because it gives you a fly.
uncommon creature, a giant, some sort of sentinel giant that was very, very good in limited, that did a thing with vigilance, and that maybe I'm confusing with this?
Oathsworn Giant? That's from Ravnica City of Guilds, but
No, it was more recent than that.
okay. I'm not sure what
I
you
don't remember
mean.
either.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I want to.
Ascended Law Mage
Oh yeah, here we go.
already has flying. It's 2 white blue for a 3/2 with flying and hexproof. Actually, just really irritating.
Yep, solid
Yeah,
card.
Good stuff.
Moon Heron with hexproof.
Restore the Peace, 1 white blue, instant. Return each creature that dealt damage this turn to its owner's hand.
oh hey, Masco Girl flavor text.
Yeah, flavor text attributed to
yeah.
Massacre Girl, who now has her own card, which is
Nice.
pretty sweet. War Leader's Helix,
Yeah.
2 red white for an instant, deals 4 to a creature or player, and you gain 4 life.
Slam a jam first pick.
Pretty good. Oh, I don't know. I know what my first pick is. Oh, thank you, Paul. Sentinel
okay.
of the Eternal Watch.
That's
That's
from
from
Origins.
Magic
Not the
Origins.
same
I'm
set,
sorry. Yeah. So it's the same mana cost. It's 5 and a white for a 4/6 with vigilance. At the beginning of combat on each opponent's turn, tap target creature that opponent controls. Yeah, she's amazing.
I guess it kind of feels like this was a good card in Origins Limited.
Yeah.
Maybe it feels like it's from Ravnica too. This because like where
Just
else
how
do we
it
see
looks, yeah.
giant soldiers? Like there are giant soldiers that work for the Boros.
Yeah.
And we've kind of known that since day one on Ravnica. Like that's one of the established sets of peoples or whatever. Also like minotaurs in armor that work for the Boros. But like I don't know where else there are giant soldiers.
Yeah.
I'm sure there could be. It's just maybe seems like a Ravnica card, flavor wise.
So I think I might be taking the rare, Ben, because our
Okay.
rare is Renegade Krasis.
Ah. Yeah,
1
right.
green for a 3/2 with Evolve. And whenever Renegade Krasis evolves, you put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control that already has a +1/+1 counter on it.
Yeah.
So this is a little Evolve deck engine. So you play your Cloudfin Raptors and your Shamble Sharks and whatever. Then you play the Renegade Krasis, and then when you play something bigger than it, then everything gets bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
pretty
better
sweet.
about Helix, but this is a fun card too. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean you're probably right, but still. And our token was a bird, and our land was a Simic Guildgate,
Yay.
which is great.
I mean, a lot of support for Simic up in here.
Yeah, Simic
Yep.
Guildgate's one of the many cards that you can get the full art fancy treatment on
Yeah.
Magic Arena. One of the many
How
recent
about that
editions.
segue?
Good segue.
Thank you. I love how those cards look. By the way.
Yes. So
Can we talk about that segue for one more second, though?
Sure.
I feel like I was just lifted up out of the car and then like placed gently on my bed and tucked in.
Oh, like
Yeah,
when you,
yeah,
like
we
when
went
you
on a
fall
road
asleep.
trip.
I fell asleep in
And
the
then-
car and
yeah.
then woke up in my bed and there was coffee on my bedside.
yeah, like you
table.
took your shoes off and you didn't even need to put them back on to come inside. Like it wasn't like a wake up, Graham. We're here.
Get
Put
your
your
shoes
shoes
on.
on.
Yeah.
No, it lifted nicely.
Yeah.
So
Shiny cards, yeah.
yeah, so
Because
This-
we haven't talked about Arena since they introduced those.
no, and like this
I
is
like
the
'em.
number one thing that I had been asking for a number of times. I think whenever I'd come in, we talked about Arena was cosmetic stuff.
Yeah.
I care so much about making my stuff look pretty. I don't care how much I lose.
You know what's funny is we did.
What is losing? Yeah.
So like occasionally we get, we have to know things a little bit ahead of time. Because we're doing like Friday nights or like PPRs or stuff, and we recorded an episode of Tap Tap. It's not the last time you were on, but it was one of the more recent times, and you were talking about how you really wanted them to bring like card backs and
Yes.
alt art and stuff to Arena.
Yeah.
And then like a few days later, we started planning for that episode of Friday nights where we show off the Sol Ring sleeves, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Ben was just talking about it. It was great. Yeah. So it's honestly, I think they're doing it super well. Like this is how. Okay, so from like an economy perspective, this is sort of how this works. This is how free to play games work, right? It's you pay for the cosmetics because that's how they get you with the microtransactions, right? And so you can the way that they've been doing it is they've been giving a bunch away for free as codes when you like watch the Mythic Championship or something like that,
Right.
and then you can also get bundles. So, for example, I bought the Orzhov bundle because I was like, all right, let's see what this does. So I have like the Kaya avatar and then the full art version on Arena of like
Godless Shrine.
it's like Godless Shrine and Teysa.
I think Godless Shrine, Teysa, Mortify,
Mortify,
and Kaya as well, I would imagine. Because
Oh,
each got a
right.
Planeswalker.
And Kaya, yeah.
Right.
And so, and just generally speaking, I think that the full art treatment that they've done looks really good. They found a really clever way to do it, very simply. That's like easily repeatable, obviously, and yeah, it's just a fun way to sort of like spruce things up. I
So
like it.
the way that they've instituted it, I think, is really interesting because you've got obviously ones that are hard capped behind you need to pay dollar dues to get it, but they have also brought in ones that you can exclusively only buy with gold as well.
Oh, really?
I knew
there's some you can get with gems, right? So there's-
as well as avatars. They
If you don't play Magic Arena, there's 3 currencies.
That's true. Well, there's two.
Oh,
But
okay. But then sometimes in the story you also just have to pay money.
No, so the gems.
okay.
gems are money.
okay.
Gems-
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
So so there's 2
Might be.
currencies on Magic Arena. There's gold, which you can earn, and there's gems, which you can earn
Technically,
or
yes.
buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if something in the store costs gems, that means you probably are going to have to just buy gems and then use with real dollars and then buy it.
So there is technically, I guess I should, because you can technically funnel gold into drafts and win a bunch and come out with gems.
Yeah, there's the events on Magic Arena are like gold into more gold, and then there's gems into gems, and then there's also a gold into gems queue. You should always like at least one. It's usually ranked
It's
draft.
ranked draft.
It's always ranked draft. Is there occasionally there's been a buy-in gold payout packs constructed too, or was it just
I don't
buy-in
recall.
gold when they had a metagame challenge? It was like buy-in gold payout, just lots of packs and
I
gold.
think so,
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
that's
So
fine.
every time a new set comes out, they do the competitive metagame one,
Yeah.
which gives you like 30 packs, I think, if you go all
you
the way
sub it, yeah.
on
So
top of a bunch of extra gold.
I
But
basically only play limited
Okay.
on Arena, and so my sort of cycle is do all the dailies, earn as much gold as I can, use the gold in the ranked drafts, and then use the gems from the ranked drafts to play the best of 3 drafts, and then that's a sort of that like keeps me afloat. I put I bought $100 worth of gems because it's the best deal at the beginning, just before Ravnica Allegiance came out.
Oh yeah, Magic Arena gives you a little tiny economics lesson that you can actually apply to the whole rest of your life.
It's true.
Which is the rich will get richer and
Yeah.
the poor will get poorer. It's actually straight out of the Bible or whatever.
very true.
Very old.
Yeah.
If you only have $5, you get the worst deal on gems. If you have $100, you get the best deal on gems.
Yeah, and I was like, to add to your point,
The new player bundle is actually a good deal.
That's right,
Yeah.
except for the new player.
I
You can only buy once. Yeah.
for every set that's come out on Arena so far, I've dropped about $100 or so. On this one, I bought like the pre-sale pack, the one where you get like Liliana and all that kind of jazz, which was like $50.
Right.
I haven't bought anything since then.
Yeah.
So what's kind of interesting is when you do end up like as a constructed player, like filling out like your entire collection and whatnot, eventually you actually stop putting in as much money into it, which is kind of interesting.
Because you also start, if you have a full collection, any rares or mythics that you open from pack rewards or in limited events just turn into gems. Not a huge number, but an amount.
Not enough gems to buy another pack, for example.
Yeah.
So the point that I was going with on the how they instituted the cosmetic kind of stuff, what's interesting is, you can buy it, but they did the one thing that I really was hoping for, which was applying some sort of really dope rewards to grinding rank on ladder and stuff.
That is cool.
So last season, they were giving out Wizard's Lightning and one other one, I think, or maybe it was just Wizard's Lightning.
I got 2 Wizard's Lightning, but I thought my friends got a Wizard's Lightning and a Light Up Stage or something like that.
Yeah,
Like
so
2
there are
cards from
ones
the
that are
mono red deck that
specifically
didn't
locked to
yeah.
events, which I think is
Right,
actually
okay.
really, really neat.
Yeah.
In enticing people to do this. So on top of the fact that you can grind ladder for the opportunity to go into like MCQs and stuff, you can now also just earn cool rewards for your deck and stuff, which is something that I think that I had been thinking that they need forever, and now they're doing it. So, like I started off. I remember when Arena first came out. As like a huge naysayer, because I was like a heavily invested person into Magic the Gathering Online. Yeah. Right. And I was just like, I will never swap like in a million years. And like they've consistently like listened and like improved it.
It's been so nimble.
It's in such a fast sort of turnaround. It's pretty astounding. I'm really happy with it.
I've been playing so much. I basically do a draft a day at this point, like on average, and I'm just playing so much more Magic than I was playing before because it's so quick and easy. Well, and actually, so to that point, because I mentioned, so I put $100 in, got the $100 gem bundle just before Ravnica Allegiance, which is 20,000 gems. Right, and I'm currently at about 4,000.
Okay,
and that includes spending 3,000 on that Orzhov bundle. Right, so it's been you can't. This is why Ryan Spain's show is called Going Optimal, because there's no going infinite on Magic Arena, but you can maximize, as a limited player, you can maximize the way that you spend your gems and use your gold and make sure to hit your dailies and whatever to make the decline very, very slow and get a lot of gameplay out of it.
Yeah.
Just in before someone corrects us in the comments, yes, if you win absolutely all of your matches, your numbers will just go up in your gold and gold and gems.
But that is
just not very realistic.
That is
ask LSV.
Totally, that is totally unrealistic. Partly because they've the way that the matchmaking works is on Magic Online in leagues, they would try to pair you with someone with the same record in a draft league, but that was it. Like the record in that league, your actual like ELO rating or whatever didn't come into it at all.
Yeah.
Arena tries to pair you with as close to a 50-50 match as it can. So you're constantly assuming that is pairing correctly, you're constantly facing opponents that have the best shot at being a game that could go either way. You don't get into a situation where you just like, I just won out that draft league because I faced 3 bad players. Right. That doesn't happen on Arena, or at least it shouldn't, by the way that they're coordinating their matchmaking.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
I think it's good. I remember when it came out, I was like, this is probably for the best for everyone. And also, oops, my win percentage is probably going down here. Like the
They talked about that
early
on-
days of Arena. It's like,
Yeah.
I've been doing really well at ranked draft, right? Or whatever. And then like this changes. I'm like, okay, yeah, once I'm in gold and platinum, it's like, yeah, I don't do as well.
Yeah.
And like, that's okay.
Yeah.
I still like playing.
Yeah, I think the best thing that they have done that has, I think, been proven in the way just like you can see numbers going up on Twitch and people talking and engaging with Magic and whatnot is their introduction to introducing players to the game.
Yeah.
Nicole, my partner, she plays it all the time now, and she started playing like I taught her by playing Commander with her, but she was like, "Is there like a way that I can just like?" Yeah, Commander, not a great teaching tool, by the way.
I wasn't gonna.
Yeah,
I know I reacted physically. I was like, I'm not gonna say it, but yeah.
But that being said, she picked it up quite quickly.
Awesome.
But yeah, so Arena is great because she said, I wish that there was some way that as much as I like playing against people, I want to play up against a robot that is a little bit easier and up to my speed and kind of a thing. And there's Sparky.
They've added that now.
Yeah. And so on top of the fact that you've got Sparky, so newer players can learn, and they've got a great tutorial system. They instituted the mastery system for new players, which is super, super cool.
That's that thing what looks like a sphere grid, right?
Yes, it's a talent tree.
It's a talent tree, but it looks like the Final Fantasy X sphere
Exactly
grid.
like it. Yeah. And
Where is it? I haven't. I've
so you
played
don't get
Arena
it
this week.
yes,
okay,
it is
alright.
for brand spanking new players.
Oh, okay.
It didn't even come into people's accounts who had already been there.
Okay.
When
I
we
only-
did the Arena special event,
Same.
the Rivals thing,
Yeah.
or the early access thing, because they give you
A new account.
fresh accounts for those.
Yeah.
We kept finishing matches, and then Sparky would be like, "Good day, love," and giving us all these weird orbs, and we're like, "What? What are these orbs for? What's
Yeah.
going on?" And so yeah, that was weird. But
Yeah, so it's cool, and it enables you to.
Can I throw this orb at Martin Juza?
Yeah.
Will it break his computer?
And it gives you cool
Help,
cards.
help.
Like you go all the way up to getting like if you're going down the green path, you get Carnage Tyrants and stuff like that. Like it's a great way to introduce it. And here's my new segue. Another thing that they're
Thank you,
adding
Paul. Yeah.
to help new players come in is the brand new thing that's coming out with the new update, which is the Arena Chronicles thing that they're adding with this brand new State of Arena update. And it is going to be going through the story of War of the Spark.
it's a single player mode.
Yeah. Where and it's going to be doing different kinds of formats. So the first one that it's starting off with is Momir.
Cool.
And then it scoots. They've got an actual like breakdown of the thing. But yeah, it starts off with Momir, and I think next week after that it's Pauper. Okay, this one doesn't have it, but yeah, it's like Pauper, and then there's like just like block constructed and stuff like that, and all of these are going to be unlocking cool new cosmetic things for you as well. So
That's
also,
smart. I like that.
Yeah, and it's the stained glass planeswalkers.
Yes,
and whatnot.
they're adding all 36 stained glass walkers.
Yeah.
So to Arena, which I assume will if you don't win them as part of this thing, they will be, I assume, purchasable after the fact.
Probably maybe
must be.
Well, that's the thing.
That
is
would seem like a missed opportunity.
a lot of these ones. A lot of the ones that they've done with this, when they're gone, they're gone. And so I both agree and disagree with it. I think people should be able to purchase these things, but at the same time, it also gives people the incentive to grind these events, especially because they're free.
I think what they should do is like you were talking about the seasonal rewards that was like Wizards Lightning and Lightning Stage or whatever. I would if they're not doing it this way, and correct me if I'm wrong, I would think that it's sort of like, the season's over, everyone who made that threshold gets these the what do they call them, styles, gets these card styles for free. Congratulations. Anybody who didn't, you can buy them.
Yeah, I think monetarily it'd make a lot of sense. I think I'm looking at it maybe from like the idea of like an MMO or something like that, where it's like you did the thing and you got the super cool thing. Great job. You worked really hard. People who didn't get there don't get that.
I have bad feels related to Destiny 2 about that.
Probably,
sort of thing.
and that's sort of the thing, right? But I mean, there are games like I don't know.
Of course, Destiny does it in in a disrespects my time as an adult sort of way.
Okay.
That I loathe, and so this is maybe a little different. But
Yeah, I don't know, because like Monster Hunter, for
Don't most of those
example,
games just have like an auction house where you can just go buy
sometimes a
them
lot
off
of the
someone?
things are bound on account.
Oh, really? Like
but like with
bound on pickup or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Monster Hunter, what they do is they'll do an event,
Right.
and then you get it for a limited time, kind of thing. And if you don't, then you missed out. But every time they do a new big event, all past events open up again and give you the opportunity to do it, which is a super sweet idea.
that's not bad.
Yeah,
I like that.
So I don't know. I kind of like the idea of exclusive kind of things based on like you playing, especially in this one where the matches are free. You can, if you find out that if you're having a bad run, go again, kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think there's also the argument that if you want to pay for it, you should be able to pay for it. But
The popper thing they did where they were giving away, it was the full art Llanowar elves, or if you went
if you
went
5-0.
undefeated, then you got the
Galta?
no, it was the Firemines research.
oh
okay.
yes,
Right.
yeah.
So I did that. I 5-0'd, and I was like, you got one Firemines research, and I was like, but I wanted the elves.
You
Oh
get one.
wait, but it was free entry, so it's like, oh okay, so it would be just like join, win a
one,
match, resign.
Yeah.
Do that 4 times. And
Yeah,
then
I
you
did
just
that
get
for the
your-
Duresses.
You should
Yeah.
get one of the elves as well. In that case,
Yeah.
you should get the.
Well, they
lower
do that
ones as
now.
well. Okay, good.
You get both
That's
if you go all the way.
So I'm glad they're adding the stained glass walkers. That's very exciting. Anime walkers when?
Yeah,
Anime
I mean,
walkers?
I'd like that.
Anime walkers, please.
I wonder if that's just like a royalties thing. I don't know
No,
how
they
art
should.
works,
They
but yeah.
absolutely should be adding those to Arena as like a purchasable cosmetic because come on.
Yeah. But yeah, the reason
on.
Because Graham wants them to.
yeah, and the reason that I bring it up is like
I think that's leaving money on the table for them.
Because Graham's concerned Wizards doesn't have enough money.
but yeah, on top of
worried
the
about
fact
you.
I
that
got plenty of mine. Sorry, you're saying
no.
and sounds like they're gonna get
I wanna
more if they
interrupt-
make
I
the right
want to interrupt the riffing. Yeah, like on top of the fact that it's a free event for new players to learn these cool and fun new formats and whatnot, it's also a free way for them to also first get their first taste of cosmetic kind of things and stuff, which as soon as you find a planeswalker maybe that you really, really enjoy and then you find out you can get this of Nicol Bolas or whatever, it really adds to the flavor of it.
All right,
I'm excited to play story mode. I just wanted to, while
Yes.
we're still on the point,
Yeah.
like that's like, it's cool for new players or whatever maybe, but like the solo player content, it's going to tell us about what's happening in the planes, right? I don't have the book yet. I want to get
Yes,
the book.
this is
Haven't read the
literally
book yet.
excerpts from the book.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to play. this.
Yeah, so I'd like to play it and catch up on who died.
Well, what I'd like to see is like one of the things that this is kind of digressing a little bit, but like they had this book story and there's a lot of information that is not out that they said they're going to be releasing in small bits and whatnot. Like the main one that a lot of people were like, the book was really great, and I think it was sweet. How did Nicol Bolas die or Niv Mizzet die? Because nobody knows how Niv. It's not in the book.
Okay,
it's
okay.
nowhere. There's
We
no
know that he
information
died
about how
and was
Niv Mizzet
reborn,
died.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then they went.
Oh.
Yeah, and in the book they go, we must raise Niv Mizzet from the grave, and they're like, wait, hold on,
Yeah.
he died?
Yeah,
Like, so they're going to be doing little spurts like that,
2
and
sets
hopefully
ago,
they do the
Niv
same with
Mizzet
it.
was very alive and drawing me cards and picking my opponent.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
What a bastard.
Um,
Okay, is there anything at the moment that is bugging you about the current state of Arena?
yes.
Okay, what's that?
So for a while I was playing Temur Reclamation
Okay.
in Standard, which is a deck that pops off by using Wilderness Reclamation, then you cast like Explosion for
Big
a
explosion.
bajillion,
Right.
Yeah.
kind of a thing. And so they have the rope on there, and while the rope does tick along as you're like making things, it does not tick along when you tap lands. So when you are tapping your lands out for maybe like your 2 or 3 untaps from Wilderness Reclamation, it does not add time to it. And tapping them each individually, especially when they're dual lands, takes a little bit of time. And the amount of times that I've because first then you tap them all out, then you cast Explosion, and you draw a bajillion cards. Maybe they're not dead yet. Then you have to go to discard step and cleanup. And if you don't discard clicking up, because it does not add time as you're clicking cards to discard, it'll discard cards randomly. And I've lost a number of games on ladder because it's just like, it like gets rid of all your stuff.
Right.
Ooh, that's
So there's no shortcut to just float all your mana with a reclamation trigger on the stack.
No.
That sounds like the main complaint, but it's a related complaint to like the rope isn't perfect.
No.
Yeah.
I remember Emma Handy tweeted this is like 6 months ago or something, just that like she wasn't getting enough time when she was doing actions like adding mana. She was playing standard elf ball with like Conqueror's Flag or whatever it's called from Ixalan, and then just like
Vanquisher's
Banner. She's got like Vanquisher's Banner to draw more cards. She's casting Llanowar Elves. She's casting Druid of the Cow. She's making mana with all of them. Right. She's got the Chancellors
taking game action.
Yeah, she's elf. She's like PT Berlin elfing out, right? And like just roping, because a lot of it is like clicking to add mana, or like she's waiting for the animation to finish so she can draw a card and then plan her next action, and like it's all just happening in first main phase or whatever. So, and she'd be roping out with this like gigantic board with all these buttons, and I'm like, yeah, that is a problem. You shouldn't have to. That's not how Magic works. Like, as long as, like, if I'm sitting here playing blue-green taking turns, and I'm moving my hands and talking as fast as I am now to like go through the game, but my opponent's been tapped out in F6 for like 3 minutes. It's like I'm allowed to just take 5 more minutes, as long as I don't just go like, right? Like, as soon as I put my finger on my chin, he's like, judge, But Arena is roping you out inappropriately there, and it's the same kind of situation. Yeah. So the rope still needs work.
And you actually said that they're adding a chess clock to best of threes now.
Yeah, so best of threes are going to be getting a 30-minute apiece, 60-minute style kind of clock.
And the rope. Okay, hang on. How does that work? Have they said how this is going to actually interact?
I don't think so. Like, I think the rope is just going to still be the same. What I perceive it as is you have the chess clock system on Mitgo.
Yeah.
And whenever
it's 25 minutes apiece, right?
Usually.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's different.
But if somebody
lengths,
doesn't make an action for like, is it like 10 minutes? I think
it's
DC drops you. Drops you.
But a lot of the times too, they've got people that are always on that can like check in and stuff like that. I think like you can message a person.
I don't know if that's still the case, but yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the support Mitgo has to that level. But I definitely don't think that they have the ability to do that for Arena. So the amount of people who I hear it all the time, like people roping each other because they're pissed off they're facing like an Esper control deck or something like that, right? And it's just like, and I think maybe it makes sense to have both just to prevent those sort of scenarios, but also put a capper on people like people who are still doing just Teferi loops and whatnot to stall out the game. Because a very real thing for a long time was people with no win condition looping their Teferi over and over,
right?
Not actually doing like the slowly milling out your opponent thing.
They're just making the game never end.
Yeah, they would Nexus and then loop their Teferi.
So the clock is there. So the chess clock is there so that the game will end.
Yes.
And if your clock runs out, you lose.
Yes, you get a game loss.
But the rope is still there so that someone can't just be like, well, I'm just going to sit here and waste half an hour of your time. Okay. Yeah, right, sure. You know what? I'm into this.
I mean, maybe it's because obviously there's the balance of like you're saying, you don't want people to be timing out while they're doing stuff, but on the other hand, you want to make it so that griefers can't waste everyone's time.
Keep tapping and tapping one forest.
And so so there's that, and maybe the addition of the chess clock is if that is successful in terms of what they wanted to do, maybe that will allow them to relax on the rope a little bit. Because then there will be that sort of fail-safe of the chess clock thing.
Yeah.
Right now in MTGO, you have a chess clock and no rope.
But you have that timeout mechanic.
That's right. Yeah, the chess clock does the thing. Well, like we assume the chess clock in the best of 3 on Arena is going to do the same thing, where you time out just after 25 minutes, but not after 10. The timeout after 10 is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so
the rope sort of takes the place of the.
That's right.
The rope encourages that you don't just sit there for your full chess clock and waste the other person's time.
Right. Yeah. I mean, maybe if we're getting the chess clock, we also concurrently deserve a modified rope that allows for the Temur Reclamation deck to not have to discard at random, allows for the Elf deck to cast all of its spells before it runs out.
So when the rope runs out now, it's equivalent of just F6ing, right? Like you just end your turn immediately?
Kind of, but to a worse extent. Because if you F6, it will still put a stopper on like a cleanup step or something like that. This it like
Takes
legitimately.
all the
If I've got
for you,
25 cards in my hand and I'm like, oh, I'm just picking these lands out that I'm not going to end up using, it'll go. I want that, and it'll like maybe discard your win cons and leave you with a handful of breeding pools or something.
So it'll just end your turn in the fastest way possible.
Yeah, if you let it time out during blocks, it just goes, then you don't block, goodbye.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the one thing I do want to mention that is also an upside on like the mid-go aspect of it is because if somebody does decide to just like sit and make you wait for the 10 minutes because they're salty or whatever,
right,
you have the option of starting another game because it's a windowed-based system. In Arena, you're stuck. In that game, you can't even like open up your collection and organize it or something like that, right? You literally have to sit stuck in there. So that's kind of why
multi-queue win.
Yeah,
right.
So
can you actually have like 2 instances of Arena running?
No, it logs you out of every instance that you're involved in whenever you log into your account.
Oh man,
is there?
On the other,
maybe there's a trick for it. I'll read in the comments because I don't know it.
Of course, the way that
does that work?
I mean, the way that they do drafts and stuff makes it so that you're not like waiting around as much as you would be back in the day on Arena.
Yeah.
But
and
still,
that's my favorite. That's like I know that they intend to add human drafts to Arena eventually, and I do want that.
Me too.
To be clear, I do want them to eventually add human drafting where you get 8 human players together and you draft a pod. But boy, I love bot drafting.
Yeah, I think they should keep bot drafting around too.
Being able to be like, get 3 picks in and go, oh, I have to go to the bathroom, or my
baby just woke up.
Yeah, exactly. And not worry, or like,
or just I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Just
I want to go have lunch and then a nap and then come back to this pick.
Yeah,
it does really actually help.
I like that.
Yeah, it also aids you.
I'm gonna go ask my friends
with a new set or something like that, and you'd be like, I really don't know what to pick. I'm gonna pull up like the limited resources draft guide and be like, what's the best way to go? Like it's a good learning tool.
I'm gonna try to figure out what Frank Karsten would pick here. Yeah,
one of my few, and I know that I'm not unique in this. One of my few bugbears with the current thing of Arena is when a brand new set comes out and it's not the ranked draft. I know everyone has already said this, and I think it has something to do with the bots don't have enough data yet.
Maybe
is I think what it is, but like a brand new set comes out.
There's a reason for you to think that's the argument.
But like the brand new set comes out and they're like, cool, here it is. You got the brand new set sealed and the brand new set traditional draft, both of which you can only buy into with gems. But the one that you can buy into with gold
is like Ravels of Ixalan.
Doesn't come out. Yeah. It doesn't get there for like
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
3 weeks maybe, yeah.
That's if you could make the best of 3 draft ranked, then that would be fine. But the fact that for the first 2 weeks of a new format, you can't grind up your rank with the new set.
Yeah.
Feels really stupid. And I'm sure there's a reason for it, but they certainly haven't said what that is.
As a constructed player, I'm kind of in a similar state as I don't really like the whole weekly event based kind of thing. I think it's really neat when they go, this week it's Momir or this week it's Pauper. I don't feel like it takes that much bandwidth to just leave those formats in.
I mean, so the argument that they've always made previously with Magic Online is that if we always have Cube and we always have, if we always have all these different formats, then it takes longer to find you an opponent to fill that format.
There's a finite number of Magic players.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Arena's really popular and
pretty
has
big.
like
I've never waited more than
way more players.
Yeah.
I waited 30 seconds maybe.
I'm pretty sure that Arena has more concurrent players at any given moment than MitGo. Like
sure.
ever
almost
has.
certainly, yeah.
I feel like you just picked the really like people love Singleton. People
It's so
love
good.
Singleton, and I don't think that's gonna stop. And it's
It's
like
so
pick a
good.
couple, maybe pick ones that are, or even pick ones that are Magic Fest like actual things, like Pauper now is just a thing, and people like playing Pauper.
Yeah.
And I
the
think
Pauper of Arena though is much different because
obviously,
standard.
yeah,
Pauper.
yeah.
Is
But
constructed question is does set rotation, air quotes, happen as soon as it's legal on Arena? Like once the set is out on Arena, are they legal in standard matches?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because on Mitgo they used to have that period of time where it's like, well, this is the pre-release weekend, so you can do the sealed events, but you can't actually use these in any standard decks.
Yeah, no, you're the moment it is out, you're allowed to use
that
them.
makes a lot of sense.
While we're talking about release dates, I want to mention one of my bugbears,
Please.
which is that I've never liked the digital, and they only started this a few years ago.
Yeah.
But I've never liked it since they started doing it when the digital release of the new set comes out before the paper set. Particularly if like on pre-release weekend, it's also pre-release weekend for MTGO, or it's also like the set drops in Arena like the Friday, the day before pre-release.
You do lose that.
I've always disliked that.
You do obviously you have a different sort of perspective being someone who is a tournament organizer.
Yeah, I
for
run
these
pre-releases.
events.
I run pre-releases, and I like seeing the hype kind of evolve.
Exactly. That's the thing is that the what I love about the pre-releases, I don't get to go to them as often anymore, but what I love about them
Too busy playing Arena.
is that they're, everyone comes together in a physical space and everyone's hype about it, and it's their first time playing with the cards and everything. And now you get into a situation where like half the people are like, yeah, I've already done like 3 sealed events on Arena, so I basically know
that
what's
sucks
up. And
too.
it's like, oh,
if you had time, the pre-release.
it's like, wait, this
used to
isn't
be a
even the
great
release.
equalizer.
Yeah.
We
This
have
is the
players-
pre-release.
Yeah, exactly. And we have players. Like I have regular players that have come to my pre-releases where it's like that strategic leveling, and like it's never going to be totally fair because like, if you want, you spend say you have no other commitments and you only want to spend time just like grinding away trying to make sure that as soon as a new spoiler comes out, you're testing it in limited by like proxying it up and making packs, like Ben Stark has stories like this, right? But it still feels nice going, well, no one's gotten to hold these yet, and like no one's gotten to play a draft or a sealed yet, so everyone in this room has the same chance as me, who barely has any time for Magic, right? Like that. Those are the players who are coming in. They like that. Once they know that like their opponent has played 4 or 5 drafts and they've played 0, they feel worse, even if it doesn't actually matter, because what matters more is that the new player cracked a crazy bomb or something. But I feel it.
I mean, I went to a War pre-release, and I haven't been to a pre-release since I want to say like Amonkhet.
Okay.
It's been a while.
Wow.
And
what did we do wrong for you at Amonkhet?
Well, I think.
Did you not like my
I remember
Osiris
the Hour of
costume?
Devastation pre-release, which
5 rounds
that was
is
a
so
thing.
many rounds.
But yeah, the War of the Spark. When I went there, I'm so used whenever I do pre-releases. Whenever I resolve a spell, I play it upside down all the time, and I did it. I was just like, I play this, and the person was like, okay, and like every single person was like, I know what they do. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And it's just like it's just a weird thing because I'm always like, I know what this card does because it's in my hand. You might not. I'm always going to do this at a pre-release.
Right.
And it's just, that most people had already experienced everything that these cards had to offer and stuff already.
Of the problems, frankly, minimal problems that we have with Arena, that's probably the one the least likely to get addressed in any way.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that like if I wanted to die on this hill, that's just what I would do, right? I mean, like just wailing to like push back digital dates to paper dates. No one cares.
Yeah. The argument of like, we should make Arena worse in order to make the paper more attractive is probably a tough a tough road these days.
Yeah, I mean, that's a way to frame it, but I guess like I don't know. Does it have to be like? Aren't all the release dates are all sort of just made up anyway, right?
Yeah.
Like obviously, if the set is
It's sort of
done-
release. I mean, we make it even muddier now with
What's
with
the
pre-pre
PPR
release.
exactly?
Yeah. It's a release window of like 3 or 4 weeks for
Yeah.
each set now.
Previews and all that kind of jazz.
I mean, I remember like in the Mitgo era, it used to be about 2 weeks after the actual even
That's
release.
Right. That's where I'm coming from. Yeah.
Before the cards could be played at all. Online.
Yeah, I remember being excited to now get to draft on Magic Online like 3 weeks after a pre-release, and like then there'd be this cool rush you would see even in your LGS of like technology that you've gathered from playing or just watching or just reading articles from people who've played a ton. More drafts than through the first 2 weeks of play.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's just such a beautiful thing. Honestly, it's probably the best feature of Arena it is the ultimate tool in accessibility, I think.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, whether it be because maybe you
Except that
don't
the
feel
limited is
comfortable
only against
going
bots.
to a pre-release, or you know, maybe you can't leave the house or something like that, or maybe you're just busy and whatnot. It still allows people to engage in that pre-release hype, having these sealed events and whatnot on Arena. I think it's wicked because it's a lot of, for example, like we work all weekend. It's a Saturday today, you know, so it's like it's a really, really nice feeling to still be able to pre-release and play sealed and all that kind of jazz. It's sweet. Accessibility is always a really, really important thing. So I think that's the best part about Arena.
Is there anything else?
Yes, a brand new feature.
Okay.
It's the last brand new feature.
All right.
And it's one that people have been wanting forever. It is now easier to pick what art you want for your basics.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
Don't tell me.
You can super filter.
You're not messing with me.
No.
Can you do it in limited though?
Because that was
Because
Maybe?
every match of War of the Spark limited, I've got Ixalan basics.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's
Honks
right.
me off.
Let's
hopefully
see.
for limited they'll do it too.
Okay.
Because oh my god, I figured out how to do this two like rank seasons ago when I was putting
you
together
gotta
my
do
first
you
deck.
do a search and then you sort
and
then
then this last
click
time
off and
you
click
couldn't
back.
even do it anymore. It wouldn't let you do it, and I was
This-
just like, why can't I pick my land?
How do you do it now?
This includes deck building during draft and sealed events. The new option works alongside the other advanced filters, so you'll be able to filter by set and color identity.
When does this go live?
Heather, can we get some like effects in here right now from when this is happening? Can you make just like some explosions coming out?
That's not going to happen.
Confetti.
It should
That
be
won't
like
happen.
coming out
It's not
like
gonna happen.
now, I guess.
Great. That's awesome.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
and then the next big update is the 23rd of May.
Cool.
So yeah, really cool, exciting. I think there, and then obviously they talked about the Mythic Champion qualifier weekend,
Right.
Which was top 1,000, which was sweet, and they do it by a little event that is accessible. So basically, if you logged on and you were the top 1,000, you got a little thing that was like you qualified.
It's a
and then-
qualifier ticket, right?
Yeah,
Like-
yeah,
just
and
like
they
when you
have
get
a little
free draft
event that they
sometimes,
click on the day, and they grind
Is
out.
that this
through the
weekend?
event. Yes,
It might have been today.
Yeah.
Or last Saturday, something like that. Yeah,
Well,
it might be right now.
I didn't qualify.
Neither did I.
So that's
I tried one
May,
month. I
or
tried one month.
you can join the qualifier event May 25th, starting at 6 a.m.
oh, it's,
So-
okay. That's
A little bit away.
That's
next week.
Next week. It's next Saturday.
There's
Yeah,
still
okay.
time.
Yeah, you can.
No,
do it.
there's not.
I got to mid platinum. No,
You
they've
have
already
to
handed
make
out the
Mythic
tickets.
by-
It was
that.
so that was the grind that followed the top 8 gets you into the MC grind.
Mm-hmm.
Remember there was like
But if I
top 8
make Mythic,
February.
if I make Mythic now, then presumably I'll get one of these tickets the next.
We're not in a season right now. May is off. So
But you can still rank up.
there's no reason to play Arena. Boo-hoo. No, just kidding. You can still play Arena. Have
They
fun.
got new rewards. For
That's right.
cosmetic
Yeah, yeah.
stuff.
So,
All right.
so March and April were both months wherein if you finish in the top 1,000 of Mythic in limited or constructed, at the end of the month you would get this token to play in the event on May 25th. Maybe in June they'll do the same thing because there's going to be 3 of these, I think, during the year.
I think so.
I want to
3 or
just
4.
bring up one more point about a feature that they could maybe give to us that doesn't sound that hard. You mentioned it earlier. It's drafting with humans.
Yep.
And more to the point, James, just before we started the podcast, mentioned
yeah.
James, our producer, who couldn't sit in with us today, but you know what he looks like. He's sassy. He wants.
That's the only
That's right.
description of
He's
him,
the
really.
sassy one.
James Sassy Turner.
Yeah, that's right. James would like to see private draft queue.
We've asked for this on MitGo for ages.
I don't know why we don't have it.
But yeah, being able to do direct challenge draft and just like get 8 friends together and do a draft remotely, that sounds dope.
Right?
That sounds so
Imagine
cool.
the streaming possibilities.
Yeah.
Even without that, just imagine the
Squad
amount of fun
stream.
you can have with
Just
your
have
friends.
fun,
Just
yeah.
have fun with your friends that don't live in the same town.
Rest
you
in
want to
peace,
draft
Friday
with.
night paper fight. It's just all of it. It's just 6 people with laptops.
It would probably it would probably be a like better visual for streaming.
Probably, yeah.
Aw, I love the Friday night paper.
I love physical drafting as well.
We could do 8 pods though. Finally, with enough table space.
Whoa.
my goodness.
We just have 6 people in a room. Nelson at home and
Great,
and
thanks.
Wheeler or something. I don't
Once
know.
again, just put under the bus. We're like looping it back to the beginning of the episode when Graham was gonna point to me first, but instead he pointed to Ben.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's all come down to the moon base there. How about, Heather, Beej, Kathleen, James, Graham, and Ben, and Nelson. I guess you should just stay home.
I'm just picturing
stay home, Nelson.
Thank you for not you, Nelson.
Yeah.
Thing that you.
Yeah, maybe you can go to Serge's house where he's also going to stay home.
Yeah.
No, you're not welcome at his place. Okay, that's fine.
Not since
You'll
the
find
incident.
somewhere to draft from.
So that's where we're at on.
Not since you walked
on
past
Arena
that
right
cat,
now.
Nelson. Can't go over there.
Generally speaking, very positive. It's good. And
It's
they're
very
like
good.
we said, they're making a lot of nimble
Little
changes, and
a little bit
it's
too much Esper
it's
on the
impressive.
constructed rank for
Well,
my taste, but
That's that's hardly the fault of the Arena team specifically. I was gonna say that's not Wizards' fault, but arguments could be made that is Wizards' fault, but not the Arena team anyway. A couple things before we go. The War of the Spark nicknames are currently active and able for you to generate them. If you
may upvote nicknames.
Yeah, if you go to lrr.cc/war, it will take you to the TTC nicknames subreddit. We're trying it through the Reddit one more time, and we've made some changes. We're using contest mode so that it randomizes and you don't see the upvotes. It shouldn't favor suggestions that got in there early or ones that are already high voted. You can just sort of take a look and see what you like. And then we'll be using those and presenting the nicknames episode in the near future, possibly the next episode of Tap Tap. I'm not entirely sure. So check out lrr.cc/war if you have any suggestions. If you don't have suggestions, check it out and upvote ones that you like, because that helps us out.
But if you're going to check it out, maybe check it out real soon.
Yeah. And as we said at the top, we'll be at Magic Fest Seattle. A bunch of us will be down there. Please do come and say hi. We're going to be playing in the event, I think, but the main reason that we're going is to say hi to people. So
and we'll probably be doing some spell slinging.
Oh,
and stuff
yeah,
like that
definitely,
for sure.
definitely doing that.
Highlander
and
will happen.
And you can check out my.cfbevents.com to register. And if you do that, let them know that you heard about it from us, because they like that. This show is brought to you by CardKingdom.com. Check out CardKingdom.com/LRR. They're great. We like them. You should buy things from them.
A crusade of cards.
Yes, sure. And this show and everything we do is brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/LoadingReadyRun. Until next time, I'm Graham.
I'm Nelson.
And I'm Ben.
Thank you for watching.